what I'm going to show you is from Forks Over Knives. Some of you saw that film that we showed originally. They have seed and spice blend that you can put on top of your salad, or you can put it on, which tastes really good, is avocado spread on toast and then sprinkle this on top, or on beans or rice, anything. It just depends if you like it. It's made with, as you can see, your recipe says seed and spice blend. Made with sesame seeds, and we sprinkle them in a pan, a nice hot pan. It says 1 cup sesame seeds, 1 cup sunflower seeds, and we're just going to stir this around. This is a simple recipe until it starts to pop a little or just start to just barely golden brown. And so we're going to mix this around. And then while that's doing that, we have nutritional yeast, which some of you are aware of. Maybe you're not. You can come see that afterwards. What I do, nutritional yeast in here, and it's kind of flaky. So I take the back of my measuring spoon that I'm using to measure out the spices, and I crush it up so it's a little more powdery. Let me stir this. It's starting to... How come, there we go. I have to keep my head up like this to talk. Yeah, they're already starting to turn brown. And I don't know if you can't show with that, can you, what it looks like. I'll show you here in a sec. Anyway, I do that. I've already measured the spices out, which is chili powder, depending on how hot you like. This is just a medium, and cumin and granulated onion. And you mix that in there. You can do that at the same, starting to brown. Let me turn this down just a little more. And you can you can hear it sizzle. Okay, take a look. See how it's starting to brown a little bit? And that's done. That didn't take long, did it? Then you dump this in, mix it up. And what we're going to do, this is what it looks like. Once it's cooled, you have to let this set it off, and let it just cool down in the pan, because the flavors tend to meld in when it's just sitting there. There, it's done. So what we're going to do is give you a salad today, because we're going to make a dressing, and Joe's going to be demonstrating how to make your life easier, right, during the week with salad. We're going to ask if you would like to have it sprinkled on your salad, or you can taste it on the side and decide if you want. The nutritional yeast gives a salty taste. There's no salt in this, but it kind of gives that little bit of a salty taste. Really good. I love it on a lot of things. So that's done. That was easy. Or easy button. That was easy. That's all. It's just measuring it out.
Okay. After watching a video about plant-based food, how many of you are encouraged to eat more plants? I am. That was an incredible video. Now, how many of you enjoy eating salads? I do. Now, how many of you, like me, hate doing all the prep work? It is a lot of work. You know, you have to wash it, you have to cut it, peel it, cut it up. It's a lot of work. I want to share with you a simpler way that really works. And you're going to find it on the internet too. A lot of people are doing it. I've done it in the past, and it really has helped. It is called salad in a jar. Okay? You can get these jars at Walmart for $11.99, about $12. You get a case of them. Or you can get the smaller ones. You might find another place that costs less. But they're very handy. Just be sure and get the wide mouth, okay? On the yellow handout that you have are basic instructions of how to make a salad in a jar. There is a psychology to it. Okay, first of all, you want to plan. Not everybody likes broccoli. Not everybody likes peas. So you have to make a plan. And believe me, if you make a plan, you're going to save money as well. So make a plan before you go to the market and just say, these are the things my kids love. These are the things I like. These are the lettuces that I really enjoy. Make a decision on what you want in your salad in a jar. And then if you're going to cook for 2 people, you want to get less. If you're going to cook for your whole family, maybe there's 4 or 6, you're going to get more lettuces, maybe 3 instead of 1. It's up to you. You have to plan, okay? And you will want to, once you purchase your jars, make it easy on yourself. Wash them the day before. Simple as that, because you don't want to do everything one day. It's just less work. So there are 6 layers, 6 steps to doing salad in a jar. The first layer is your dressing that you will want to put. This dressing that Robin showed us would be an excellent one. It doesn't have any liquid, so you don't have to worry about it wetting the other items in there. But a lot of dressings that you and I eat have liquid in them. So they advise that you put them first in the bottom. Now, I don't like putting my salad dressing in salad in a jar. Simply because, not because it doesn't taste good, but because when I empty it onto my dish, and believe me, this jar fills up a big bowl. Like if you go to a restaurant and you order a salad, it fills it up. It's a big meal. Okay, so when you put your salad dressing down, and you try to take everything out, some of the dressing is going to get stuck, and you have to, with a spatula, start digging it out. So I just like keeping my salad dressing in a separate container, or not even use one once in a while. You can really taste the vegetables, the lettuces. They have a distinct taste when you don't use additional dressing, okay? Layer 2, you're going to put the crisp items. These are items that can be pickled, okay? Your tomatoes, your cucumbers. I put here, as you can see, the carrots, okay? Carrots and green bell peppers. But you can use whatever you like. These are just suggestions. But remember that this layer, the second layer, is really important because they're the ones that could be pickled. When you use a lemon salad dressing, the lemon pickles it. It kind of cooks the vegetables. The third layer is not so much important if it gets wet, but it's going to create a little distance between those. You're going to be going softer, the harder vegetables in the bottom, and getting light towards the top. So the third layer are going to be like your mushrooms, your zucchinis, your beans. Vary your beans. You can use any kinds of beans. Here I used black beans, okay? You can use garbanzo beans. Kidney beans are wonderful. All kinds of different beans. And I would recommend that you experiment with different beans because they all have different flavors. Beans, corn, broccoli, so on. Vary them. They're the little bit thicker ones. Layer number 4 is your more delicate items. Here is where I would put tofu. I did not put any tofu. For my previous level 3, I used peas and corn because I love peas. And by the way, if you haven't noticed, on the bulletin board, there's some famous sayings. There's items there, 10 different things that are good about peas. So you might want to look at that on your way out. But the delicate items, if you do use hard-boiled eggs, this is where you would use them, as well as your cheeses. I recommend try to stay away from cheeses, but this is a wonderful dressing that Robin has shown us because the nutritional yeast is one item that is used to make your cheeses, to make a more cheesy flavor, to make your nacho cheeses. So it's going to give you a flavor of cheese as well on your salads. And then layer 5 is where you are going to, what they call, seal your salad in a jar with special nutritious items like brown rice, your couscous, your quinoa. Only thing, if you want to use these, you want to plan ahead. If you are going to make, let's say, quinoa for dinner, save a little bit extra and put it in your salad in a jar. And also, here's a time where you can put different kinds of, not only quinoa, but different kinds of pastas. Have you ever experimented with different pastas made out of vegetables? Here's one made out of soybeans. Here's one made out of brown rice. They have wonderful items now. These are from Trader Joe's. This is black bean pasta. So you can make your pasta dishes as well, and then just save a little bit of whatever pasta you made to put it into a jar. When I make my salad in a jar, I make sufficient for at least 3 days for Ernesto and I, and my daughter who lives with us. She takes it to work. Ernesto and I eat it at home. So you can make as many as you like for your family. And here's one other. It's made out of red lentils. Okay. I forgot to mention, you've all seen the different kinds of beans that there are out there, kidney beans. I even saw one now with Peruvian beans. They have them in a jar. If you want to take a shortcut, keep a can of beans with as less salt as possible. You know, read the ingredients. You want as less ingredients as possible and as healthy as possible. But it saves time. That way you don't have to cook in advance. But if you happen to be making a pot of beans, save a little bit again for your salad in a jar. And this is also a time close to that last layer where you can put in your lettuces, different types of lettuces. And they say to also put your nuts in layer 6. I personally don't like putting my nuts inside the salad in a jar because if they do touch my lemon juice, they're going to get a little soggy. They're going to change. I like mine crisp. So I set them aside. I set them and I put them in a little container or little glass jar. I keep them in the refrigerator and add them in later. Even if you take them to lunch, put them in a small container, a little plastic bag, and add them to your dish. But then once you are layering all these, you have them all ready, you just put them in to get them all washed. If you have your plan made, get them all washed. You just layer them one after another. And at the very top, your mason jars, you know how they have 2 lids. You get your lettuces in, just squash them with that top lid and then put your finger through it and, close it up nice and tight, stick them in the refrigerator, and they are good for a week. Okay? They are excellent. Yes?
They won't get wilted or soggy?
Not if you eat them before a week is over, because it keeps them crisp. And if you snuggle in that lettuce, the different lettuces, you hardly give any space for the air to do that work. Okay? Any other questions?
Well, what is it like if I don't, the way for it not to get air, I need to put them like not too much in or?
Oh, shake it a little bit. Shake it so that to make sure that the heavier items go down to the bottom. And as you'll notice, probably half of them are the heavier items. And the top is the different types of lettuce. I've used the iceberg, the romaine, and cabbage. Cabbage is wonderful to fight cancer. So you want to put in at least a little bit of either the green or the red, but I like, they say a rainbow is nice. It's very appealing. So I put that in, and you can put in any other items. Cilantro cleans your kidneys. So that adds a nice little taste to it too. But you can put in whatever you like, the items that you like. As it says down in the bottom, the variations in this jar, it's just a guide. Do what you like, and then experiment. Okay? But it's absolutely wonderful. I suggest at least try it. If you don't want to spend the money to purchase the mason jars, and you first want to experiment to see if you like doing this, save those jars that you've purchased mayonnaise from or a spaghetti sauce or something. Save them and try it. See if you like it. Just remember that the wider mouth jars work best. And that's it. If we don't, oh yes. Yes, glass is always better. Plastics give off a toxin, especially if they're in heat. And they're not going to be in heat in the refrigerator, but it's healthier to use glass. I got these instructions from the internet. If you go on the internet, I typed in vegan salads. Okay, and you can come up forward. I have 5 pictures of vegan salads in a jar. In the back of your yellow handout are the items that were used for each salad, as well as the vegan salad dressings, just for varieties for you to look at. Okay? Yes?
Is that a full meal?
Oh, yes. If you get your beans, your legumes, or your couscous, or quinoa, your nuts, you're covered with protein. And the body doesn't need that much protein anyway, but you're being given a lot of protein from those sources as well as from vegetables. Okay? Vegetables, each of them give us different vitamins and minerals. And lettuces, with all the vegetables I've learned, and Robin, you can confirm this, the darker the vegetables, even beans, the healthier they are for us. So your purple cabbage is going to be healthier. Your black bean has more nutrition in it than your navy beans. But experiment. Your lentils is wonderful. They just have more nutrition in them. So don't be afraid to experiment.
Now we're going to make another salad dressing. Last time was kind of a sweet, little hint of sweetness to it that we made. This one's going to be an Italian dressing, and it's going to be on your salad. And then you can, as we said, you can request to put that on top of it if you want, but we're going to serve you your salad, then you can taste it first, maybe on the side, and then decide if you want to put it on. So my lemon tree is still producing, so these are free for you to take when we're done. So what did we say about if you have a whole bunch of lemons, what you can do with them?
Freeze them?
You freeze them in what? Ice cube trays, yeah, because then I can make this dressing anytime because I have if I don't have lemons from my tree, I have them in my in my freezer. I can thaw out the lemon juice, so I have fresh lemon juice. I always keep the cashews in a jar in my freezer and just pull them out as I need to. So what you do is a half a cup of raw cashews, and I've already soaked them. I just put it in yesterday, or you can just at least soak them, it says, for 30 to 60 minutes. Just stick them in a jar. And the way I do it is I put the cashews in. Here's a half a cup. And then I fill up all the empty spaces with water. Just put it in the sink, get some water. And then I dump it in after it soaks. And then I've put a fourth a cup. And if you want your salad dressing a little thicker, you would just do 2 tablespoons. It says 2 to 4 tablespoons of water. So I've already done that. I let it soak and I put it in. Get that in here. And you just blend the on this dressing just the fresh things. So the lemon juice, I've measured that out, 6 tablespoons of lemon juice, fresh, and apple cider vinegar. Apples should be organic, they say. So let me get this. Wipe that. We don't need that spice on there. And this one is, let's see, 2 tablespoons. Put 2. There we go. And maple syrup. I just happen to use maple syrup. You could use agave if you want, but maple syrup. Now, this originally, I took it from Mary Burnt, her cookbook. She put in a little more of the maple syrup, but it just seemed too sweet for me. And what I did to alter her recipe, instead of using olive oil, if you have a nut allergy and you can't do nuts, you could use olive oil. But I'm trying to cut down on the processed oil, and so we're using these nuts seem to work really well. So what's it say? We're going to blend it up, right? Do we put the garlic in yet? No. We just blend it up. This is the best piece of machinery in my whole house. I love it. It's worth the investment. We'll spend money on iPhones. We'll spend money on all kinds of things, but I use it all the time for so many things. Can make gravy with it, all kinds of things. So what you want to test is it smooth? Yeah, it doesn't feel super smooth yet, so it needs to go a little longer, nice and creamy. Okay, that should do it. Yeah, I can even see it. Okay, so now we're going to take about 3 large garlic. We'll make about, what did I say, a tablespoon? Yeah, it's about 3. And what else? Herbamare. This is just a sea salt that has organic herbs and vegetables in it, so it gives a little more flavor than just a straight sea salt. And you use 1 teaspoon of that. And the last thing is this. Toned spaghetti, spicy spaghetti seasoning, and this is cotton. You can purchase this at Sam's Club. I used to get pizza seasoning at Winco, and they discontinued. So you can just go to their bins at Winco, and you can get out what you want. But they said they discontinued it. So if you don't have a Sam's Club, you have to find a friend to buy it for you. But it lasts a long time, and it gives such a marvelous flavor. And they do? Oh, thank you. Great, because I don't have Sam's Club. I'd have to find somebody. Smart and Final, great. 2 tablespoons of that. And now I'm not going to blend it, I'm just going to mix it. So I just hit it just enough, because if you blend it, it'll turn green, and then it just doesn't taste as good. And that's it. Now this you need to let sit in your refrigerator. Like if you make it in the morning, then serve it at night, because it kind of needs to get the flavors blended in and it'll thicken up a little bit. And this is what we're going to serve you on your salad. And there. And then you keep jars if you have something from another dressing, and there you go. And if you want to smell it, you can, but you're going to get a taste of it too. Okay. Now, something I want to share with you we did on our trip. We just did a road trip, and because of the way we eat, trying to eating healthy, we didn't always have restaurants. Some of the places were so small, Mesa Verde and places like that in Colorado. We couldn't find a place to eat. So I planned ahead. I looked ahead to see what was available. And I bought things like this I got this at Winco, or you can get it a lot of places. I got this at Target, 90-second rice. And we didn't always have a microwave in our room. So my neighbor shared with us what you can do. It's what he does at lunchtime. He takes something like this or his meal, and he puts it in the window of his car out in the parking lot. And within a half hour, this is all heated up, and it was great. You don't have to open it up or anything. It just stuck it in the window of our car because it was hot. Now, if it's cold out, of course, it's not going to work. Or even when you're driving, if it's in the back of your car, and we just split this open, put the rice out and the lentils, and then poured this over the top. We had a meal. It was fabulous. It tastes good, right, Lou?
You better believe it.
So we had a really healthy meal, and we just bought a salad at the grocery store because sometimes you can't find tip for today.